Andy Atkinson for RiseUpTV. Good afternoon. Welcome to the LNER and another cracking championship game in prospect today. The York Knights facing London Broncos on a 15-match unbeaten run, the Knights, and Broncos doing it tough at the moment with injuries, but they'll present a challenge. Should be a belter of a game, as always, in the championship. We're going to get the thoughts of the two coaches ahead of the game. Yeah, we've kindly been joined by Mark Applegarth, the York Knights head coach. Mark, another day, another challenge. London Broncos today, the visitors.
Yeah, that's it. It's that stage of the year now where every game's a challenge, isn't it? I thought London were excellent last week against Toulouse and they were very unlucky, so it's definitely a game we're not taking lightly. I know on paper, when you look at the league positions, obviously there's a bit of distance between us, but if you look at a lot of London losses, they've been very close games, haven't they? So we're expecting a very tough battle. I'm sure it'll go on for 80 minutes today. I don't think they're a team that'll throw in that white flag, and we know we need to be at its best if we want to get anything out of it.
Yeah, who do you see as the main threat there? I mean, the pack, always a useful pack. Marcus Stock, of course, who played down here at the Knights, always influential. Yeah,
I think Stock's a great player in that middle. Obviously, they're missing Bieniek, who's been great for him as well, but Stock will control that middle for them. I think O'Byrne in the halves has been causing a lot of teams threats, so we'll have to do his own work on him and make sure that we're not giving him a sniff. But Sid in that back row's an handful. Lovell as well. You know, they've got some great players with plenty of Super League experience. So as I say, we won't be dipping our toe in thinking it's going to be an easy day. We know that we need to be at our best from minute 1 to 80 to get what we want out of the game as well.
Let's talk about your own team and the team news. And he's back, isn't he, the Ghost? He's back on that team sheet.
Yeah, he was begging me to play last week, if I'm honest with you. But he trained all last week, he trained this week. He's done everything I've asked of him. And ultimately, he said, I want to play. So, he's our captain. He's my main man on the field, and he's the guy that orchestrates how we want to play. So, he's back in the business, yeah. Great player. For me, he's been probably the championship player of the year to date. Obviously, I'm going to be a little bit biased, but I genuinely believe that. And welcome back to Bailey Antrobus as well, who got run out at Newcastle. So excited to see him come back as well into the fold.
Yeah, embarrassment of riches and problems for the coach as far as selection goes, but a great problem to have, Mark.
Yeah, I'd rather have this problem. As you say, I mean, you look at 18th man, you've got Will Dagger. It's not a bad position to be in by any means. So, we know we're blessed in that, but we're also pretty aware that can change within an heartbeat. So, we'll try and make the most of it while we can, but at the same time, we won't be getting too carried away because we know there'll be an hiccup, I'm sure, over this next 4 weeks.
Mark, thanks very much for your time and all the best this afternoon. Yeah, I've kindly been joined by Mike Eccles, London Broncos head coach. Mike, game today against York, top of the table and a real chance to test yourselves.
Huge chance, yeah. I think since York come up a few years ago in League One, they've been a thorn in our side. Our record's terrible against York. But no, they're flying at the minute. And they were my, it's not retrospective, they were my tip actually to win the competition from the start. I think they gained a lot of traction at the back end of last year. I thought Mark's a really good coach and they've got a good group. They've got a really good playing group, and the players that they added to it as well have added some extra quality and experience to them. So they're flying high. For us, it's just a different challenge in that we've got a lot of blokes out of position today. Our back five is, with wingers and centres, and with blokes fresh to the game from Rugby Union playing. We've got Marcus Gary from Leeds on debut as well. So there's a bit of that going on for us, but at the same time, it's a great opportunity for those blokes. I'm excited to see Chris Hellick at fullback as well. So I'm excited to see how they go in the new blokes. Welcome to the team, and the blokes who are playing out of position.
Yeah, I mean, you're doing it tough at the moment, Mike, with the injuries and that, but you were the better side, arguably, against Toulouse last week, and just couldn't come up with the result at the end.
No arguments about it other than the scoreboard. We were a better team. We just imploded for 8 minutes there, and that's what they can do to you. So we're doing it tough this year. Where we are right now is not doing it tough. Doing it tough was where we were 6 months ago, 9 months ago, 3 months ago. this is doing it tough now, but I can handle this. You know, with a little bit of an injury crisis for this week, that's nothing compared to what we've been through this year. So tough test today, but you know, we'll enjoy playing on a great surface and see how we go.
Mike, we appreciate your time. All the very best this afternoon. Thank you.
Anytime.
Yeah, thank you very much, James Hogarth. Welcome to the LNER. Cracking atmosphere down here again this afternoon as the Knights face London Broncos. And just a really, really tough challenge again in prospect for Mark Applegarth's Knights. Quick look at the league table. York on top, 32 points from 20. With a 335 points difference. Toulouse in second, 32 points from 20 after their win against Sheffield, 58 points to 6. Their points difference substantially inferior to the Knights. Bradford in third, it's their free week, so they've played 20 games, but 30 points. Then Oldham, 26 points from 20 games in fourth. Featherstone are in fifth. Doncaster in sixth. Those are the playoff places without Halifax Barrow. Widnes Vikings. London Broncos down in 10 with just 6 wins this season. Sheffield Eagles, Batley Bulldogs and Hunslet. Let's quickly go through the two teams ahead of the players coming out here, and the York Knights showing 3 changes. Toa Matarapa at fullback, Ben Jones-Bishop, Scott Galliano on the wings, Kieran Buchanan and Ollie Field in the centre, Zata Ingano, and the return of Liam Harris at half-back after injury. Surprisingly quick return Jack Martin and the return of Bailey Antrobus. Bailey Antrobus, those 2 ACL injuries, and finally back, played as man of the match for Newcastle Thunder last week. And he starts at prop alongside Paul McShane at hooker. The second row, Jesse D returning, Connor Fitzsimmons excluded outside the 17 today. Jesse D alongside Connor Bailey, Joddy Thompson at loose forward. Off the bench, Brendan Santi, Taylor Pemberton, Harvey Reynolds and Mitch Clark. Joe Law, the other one to miss out. Will Dagger is the 18th man, unfortunate 18th man. Mick Ramsden and I've just been talking about poor Joe Brown as well, who can't get into the equation. He's just down in front of us. The Broncos side showing 3 changes. Chris Ellick at fullback, Charlie Robson and Marcus Karikari on the wings, Ethan Natoli and Jack Smith in the centres, Jensen Binks and Connor O'Byrne, the Australian, are the half-backs. Kobe Ruglas, signed from Hunslet this week, played against the Knights last week. And Dana Coro, either side of the Welsh international, Curtis Davis. Long-serving Will Lovell and Sadiq Adabayi in the second row. Marcus Stock, the former Knights player, is the loose forward as the teams come out. Off the bench, Tommy Porter, Hugh Worthington, Ben Hersey-Horde and Matt Ross, missing for them from last week. Alex Walker, the fullback, Lewis Bierneck, the big prop forward, and Liam Tyndall out through a head injury assessment after scoring 2 tries against Toulouse in that defeat. You'd have to say an undeserved defeat last week. Referee today, Kevin Moore. The Broncos in essentially a red shirt, white shorts. The Knights in black and amber, as you would expect. Big strapping on Bailey Antrobus's right hamstring, I notice. Officials decked out in light blue, and that laconic walk out at the tail of the Knights lined up by Ata Ingano. He's a deceptive looking fella, isn't he, Mick Ramsden? When you look at Ata Ingano, he's so cool and relaxed, but it's everything different once that whistle sounds.
He is, he's very relaxed, he's laughing away, smiling, waving to people. But when he goes, he goes. When he gets playing, he's a different person.
Yep. Fabulous game in prospect. The Knights 15 unbeaten. Can they make it 16? Mitch Clark just pulls his high vis on. Referee Kevin Moore from the Castleford Society. And Liam Harris with that knee strapped up. Mark Applegarth saying that he begged to play last week. And back in the equation today. The Knights are going to get this game underway. Here we go. Tail end of the season. And Knights looking for the league leader's shield. Oh, and immediately massive impact as Dana Coro runs into the Knights advancing line. Bailey Antrobus, one of those, in at the tackle. Will Lovell with the carry. 2010 when he joined the London Broncos from, I think he came through the juniors at Northampton Saints Rugby Union, did Will Lovell. Curtis Davis, the Welsh international, scurries to the play the ball. And again, big impact as London try and make some metres. 2 big impacts on Marcus Stock in centre field, eventually bustled to the ground by McShane and Antrobus. Deep ball back to Connor O'Byrne in the 7th shirt. Good high kick swirling downfield into the hands of Toa Matafa. Took it on the 10 and gets back out to 25 from the Knights line. But Broncos muscling up, making defence.
Absolutely, yeah. They had to work hard to even get anywhere near halfway line there. Some big collisions coming in from the York pack. Yeah,
the intensity early. All important from both sides' point of view. London started really well and for the most part were the better side against Toulouse last week, certainly up to the hour. Missed a couple of tackles late on that cost them the game. Bailey Antrobus, good impact, gets over halfway with Curtis Davis trailing in his wake, and then Ata Ingano makes ground. McShane switches play to the right side. Liam Harris looking to take the tackle and eventually disappears under that tackle. 28 out, 20 in from the near touch line. Ata Ingano, kick out to the left side, hanging kick with Charlie Robson trying to get underneath it. Ball's fallen loose. Ball still bouncing loose. The Knights recover through Antrobus. Antrobus to Mata'afa. Ball now on the right side. The attack. Harris cuts out ball. Chance for Ben Jones. Bishop is in for the try. Initially looked as though the Dormeyer closed on him, but he absolutely just got low. Battered his way in. He's come out of it limping. But Ben Jones Bishop has got the Knights on the board early. It is his 25th try of the season. He heads the championship try-scoring stakes, and he's done it again. It is York Knights 4, London Broncos 0.
Yeah, really good play by York there. Really good run early on by Bailey Antrobus. It's good to see him back in the side. And he was part of the build-up to that play that led to a try. Liam Harris just with a bit of a stutter. He looked as though he may have just put a kick through, but instead he gave a good ball to the winger, Ben Jones Bishop, and he managed to step his winger and get inside for a try. Great start by York.
Yeah, Ben Jones Bishop with the try. Just glancing in, he's moving more freely now as the in the 34 shirt as he goes back to the centre. It is going to be Liam Harris with the kicking duties. It's going to be right off the whitewash. But Ben Jones Bishop got that ball around about 20 metres out from the assist from Liam Harris. And he was able to work his way in at the right corner. Just a little step back inside, which eased him past the Broncos tacklers. And it is 4 points to 0. Kick to come. Chris Thorman out there already having his influence on what is going on. Connor Fitzsimmons, Joe Law carrying the water today. Atingano just having a word with the York physio.
Pretty intense start off both sides, Andy. It just even the Broncos there were putting some good shots in their first set in defence.
So looking at social media last night, Chev Walker was on about how many people would watch the Knights against London Broncos today, and there's always one, and one guy said, oh, I wouldn't watch Championship Rugby League, it's not a patch on Super League. No. And I just shook my head. I just thought, well, the guy obviously hasn't got a clue what he's talking about, because it's like you say, the intensity, Mick, and Championship is just a fabulous competition.
It really is. There's no doubt about it. That guy's probably never watched a game. He's just making a comment like that.
Yeah. Liam Harris pulled his conversion across the face of the post, but just moving up to 5 minutes gone. Restart for the London Broncos. Jack Smith on loan from Leeds puts that kick in. Understood he wouldn't be in the lineup today, but he is. And Paul moves across field into the combative Australian Jack Martin, the Mustang as he's known to his teammates. And then Connor Bailey working hard as he's done all season. So consistent in his performance. The Knights are giving this ball a bit of air as well, Nick.
They are. Left to right shift, right to left shift again. Playing with confidence.
Yep, Bailey Antrobus again with the carry. And you've got to perform, haven't you, in this nice 17. If you don't perform, you're going to lose your place. It's as simple as that. You know, Will Dagger will feel hard done by today, having to watch from 18th man. Liam Harris under pressure, gets the kick away before Marcus Stockton. Curtis Davies got to him. Marcus Carry underneath it. Took the ball in well. As I say, brother of Jason Carry at Castleford. His father was a serving soldier, and he was born out in Fiji. Was Marcus Carry. Did his junior rugby at Kipax. Marcus Stock, always pivotal, and then Will Lovell takes his eye off the ball and it goes to ground. And he looks thoroughly downcast at having lost that ball. The referee, what's he giving here? Don't know what that hand signal is, but he's giving the Knights a penalty, Mick.
Yep, not sure.
He was directing a bit of traffic. There was Kevin Moore. It's from his days as a car parking assistant, no doubt. Sorry, Kevin. Here goes Bailey Antrobus again for the Knights as Benidorm returns to the LNER. It's been overcast all day, but somebody's turned the wick up. Johnny Thompson, fabulous game last week for the Knights against Hunslet. Paul McShane, they've stacked the right side. Jack Martin from Hingano. London with some defending to do. There's a lot of pointing going on in that London defence, Mick. They've got 5 fires and only 3 fire engines at the moment. As Atingano ambles across the line and takes the tackle, completely unhurried. Is that Paul McShane? Oh, McShane almost away, still going, gets the pass in. Knights trying to get over, can't quite get there. Stopped adjacent to the left-hand post. McShane just added a bit of jack-in-a-box quality. And then he takes his eye off the ball. Referee says they can play it. Sadiq Adebayi dropped on it. I'm trying to look round a fella who was lost with his pint in his hand. Here comes Liam Harris. And then knocked down by a London player who's going to keep going, but he's going to be brought back. I have to tell him it was Jack Smith. So I was going to say something about Paul McShane there, about Atingano. Atingano seems to have taken a lot of influence from Paul McShane, and that steadying, don't do anything in a hurry, calm, calculating, pick your moments.
That is describing McShane perfectly, isn't it? And that probably isn't so much describing Atingano, but maybe better now, like you say.
Atingano, Galliano out wide, can't get over in the left corner. Sorry, Mick, to interrupt you.
We'll come back to that.
Yep. Long floaty ball. That was a horrible pass, and the Knights having to do a bit of tidying up and a bit of reconvening, which they've done. Atingano again to Thompson. Thompson trying to wend his way around the tackler, Danakoro. He does so, but he's caught by 2 London Broncos players on the 10 to the left of the post. BBC Radio York 9 gone. McShane, Hingano centre field, puts the brakes on again, offloads back to Liam Harris, has to fend off Conor O'Byrne, can't do. Curtis Davies arrives as the cavalry to make sure Liam Harris goes no further. McShane again, left side, Jack Martin. They're giving this London Broncos defence a real early testing, Mick.
They are.
McShane, left side again. Liam Harris tries to go round the tackle, can't do so. He's held on to it, was on the last. It'll be the handover and Broncos ball. Not a bad place to hand the ball over, Mick.
Not bad, not bad at all. Yeah, there's firepower all over the side, isn't there? It's difficult. London Broncos have done well to keep them out there. Yeah, going back to Atingano, I love his off-the-cuff play. I mean, a lot of people will like that kind of thing, but it's just the occasional error that he might make, just trying to push the ball too much. But he certainly seems to have improved that this season, where he's just his ball security and doing the right thing for the team is more important now, especially with players wanting to get in the side. You know, you've got to be there making the right decisions and doing the right thing to keep your place, really. Yeah,
London Broncos committed the cardinal sin of knocking on in their own 10. I think it might have been Curtis Davies. And they're inviting more pressure, Mick Ramsden.
You've got to say they are under immense pressure right now with this set.
4-0 to the Knights. And this game has been played in the London half of the field up to now. That ball's still stuck in the back of the scrum. It looked as though it had a London foot on it to me. They must have long legs, whoever that was. No, it's Kieran Buchanan. Harris into Martin. Martin drives, tries to go through the front door, can't do so. Batted away by London Broncos tacklers, and then Johnny Thompson almost through a gap. Has he got it down? Not quite. Stopped just short. The Knights very, very close to a second try. They go left. Hingano, and it's Ollie Field. Great scrambling defence by the Broncos on the right side. Fabulous bit of work. Oh, and another flabby pass. I think it might have been Ollie Field this time. The deliveries from that left side have been horrible. Oh, and then another one out the back door, tidied up by Scott Galliano. Matafa into Hingano. Hingano kicks in behind the defence. Bit of work for Marcus Carey to do. Now a bit of work for the Knights to do as the speedster gets away, but knocked down by Jack Martin's tackle on the 30. Fabulous stuff, this game at the moment, Mick Ramsden.
You've got to say London defended that set so well.
Yep.
Really, really worked so hard for each other to keep York out there.
Yep. It's still 4-0 to the Knights. We've had 13 minutes, 13 fascinating minutes. And Charlie Robson in off his wing, the former rugby union player. Played at Harlequins, Marcus Stock. So many times, Marcus Stock positions himself where he can be deemed to be knocked down late. It happened on a number of occasions against Toulouse last week, and London benefited from penalties, but not this time. And then Kobe Ruglas, who knows this Knights team well, he was out there for Hunslet last week. Kick to come from Conor O'Byrne. That's gone off the outside of his boot towards the right wing. Charlie Robson kicks on, and London might benefit here. And then I think Ollie Field goes back and retrieves the ball. Just for a second there, that ball broke for Charlie Robson, the London Broncos right winger, and it looked as though they might profit from that, but it wasn't to be. And some tidy work by Ollie Field. Tracking back, still 4-0. BBC Radio York, myself and Mick Ramsden describing the action as Kobe Ruglas gets knocked over as the Knights come forward. Son of Troy Ruglas, who was a London Broncos player in his day.
Bailey Antrobus is off 13 minutes in. Yep. I can only assume that they're just gonna they want to take him too far really with his first game back. So he looks okay.
Yep.
There don't seem to be any problems there, so that's good.
Not limping.
No.
Harris with a kick from deep, tries to split the two of them, takes a late tackle. And there's a bit of trouble in back play here with Liam Harris. The London player all over him, still all over him, Curtis Davis. And that should have been picked up, and Curtis Davis is still at it. Still at it. Matarafa pushes him in the back of the head. And unfortunately for Toa Matarafa, the touch judge has seen that.
Yeah. And
that should have been put to bed a lot earlier.
Yeah, Matarafa didn't really need to go in there. Yeah, Liam Harris and Jack Smith were on the floor together, getting up, pushing and shoving, but Matarafa came in when they broke up and possibly may get pulled out here.
Yeah. Yeah, it was a wrestling match between Curtis Davis, who wrestled Liam Harris back to the floor to stop him getting back into play. And at that point, referee Kevin Moore should have taken some action, but he let it go on and go on and go on, and eventually Toa Matarafa reacted. And I suspect that that might be what the touch judge has seen. And it's going to be Toa, it's the skippers, I think, that have been dragged out. Yeah, Will Lovell from the Broncos and Liam Harris. Referee Kevin Moore wanting his 10 penneth. It started as a bit of handbags, Mick, and sort of turned into something more than that because of a bit of indecision.
Yeah, they were just locked on to each other on the floor. The kind of Curtis Davis and Liam Harris stood up, pushed each other a bit, and then disconnected. But then Matarafa locked on to Curtis Davis, and it went on.
It's going to give London a penalty here on the Knights 40. And you can see what the crowd behind us think. They're howling. American Werewolf in the LNER. Curtis Davis taps the ball, goes to Dan Okoro, the man who was at one time at Hull Kingston Rovers on loan from Warrington Wolves. These days, Curtis Davis, the Welsh international, smattering the Welsh internationals in this side. Will Lovell tries to ease past the left side Knights defence, which is orchestrated by Jesse D and Atta Ngannou. They come back the other way. Jensen Bink ships the ball on. Conor O'Byrne, good ball into Natoli. And then it was actually Chris Pelleck in the line. The former St Gaudens and Albi player in the French leagues. Dan Okoro again tries to drive over Jack Martin and does to an extent, but doesn't go any further. London on just about 15 out. Short ball into Sadiq Adebayi, but he's not going any further. And then deep ball back to Conor O'Byrne, puts the kick in, that's come loose. Has it been touched down? London may have got there and may have got the try. Couldn't see who it was racing onto it. May have been Ethan Natoli, but London have scored from that clever little kick by Conor O'Byrne that was lost by the Knights' defence.
Nice little kick there from Conor O'Byrne. He's one of their key players, actually. He's got really good hands, gives a lovely pass, he can open up teams. But that little kick through there, a couple of Knights players went for it. I think Atta was one of it, was difficult to take, and it bounced over the top of him. We're not sure who the try scorer is, but it was pretty much placed down just inches before the back line.
Yeah, 4 apiece, kick to come. And it's Jack Smith with the kicking duties, as he was last week against Toulouse, and a pretty good success rate against Toulouse. And he may well give London Broncos the lead here. It was that angled kick under the post from Conor O'Byrne that flipped over the top of Atta Ingano and was dived on by a still unidentified London player, but may have been Ethan Natoli. So kick to come. Here's Jack Smith in front of the sticks. That should make it 6 points to 4 in favour of the visitors. He does indeed. A little setback for the Knights off the back of that decision by the officials that gave London Broncos field position. And Paul McShane and Liam Harris both in Kevin Moore, the referee's ear. So restart kick for Liam Harris. The Knights trail 6 points to 4.
Pretty enterprising play by London. They've got something to offer here. They've definitely got a threat, even though they've got players missing. Pretty impressive attack on that last set from them.
Yeah, Liam Harris with the restart kick. They punched the ball up into contact again. I think it was Danakoro. There's a big unit. Curtis Davis races in at the play of the ball, looks for Parker's stop, goes the other way, goes to Kobe Ruggles. Ruggles stopped pretty much in his tracks by Brendan Santi, introduced by the Knights, and then a little knock on by Kobe Ruggles. And referee Kevin Moore decides it's the handover just inside the London Broncos 40. We've had 20 minutes, 20 fascinating minutes, Mick Ramsden.
Yeah, definitely. There's not really very much between the teams at the moment.
No, the Knights have had the majority of the field position and the pressure as Connor Bailey runs the ball in, 15 in from the near touchline. They got that try through Ben Jones-Bishop just 3 minutes in, but London have struck back. Here's Liam Harris, Harris to Hingano. Hingano out the back to Matafa, field, chance for Galliano! In the left corner, got low early and flew in like Superman without his cape, Mick Ramsden.
Really good play down the left there. All straight runners. Had some, one of the London Broncos players had to almost pirouette backwards. Just really strong attack, really well finished off by Galliano in the corner.
15 tries for the season for Scott Galliano. The Knights lead 8 points to 6. We've had 19 minutes. And Scott Galliano just solid handling, moving that ball onto the left side of the attack.
Absolutely, all done at pace. Yep. Running good lines, good straight lines inside shoulders, and just all really, like, execution was perfect on that try.
Yep. So Scott Galliano with his 15th try of the season. Former Sunshine Coast Falcon. The Knights back in front, 8 points to 6. Kick to come from the skipper, Liam Harris, out there.
Liam Harris seems okay anyway, just watching his involvement in the game so far. Seems to be moving very well, so that's a great boost for York. That it's quite amazing that we're seeing him back on the field so early.
Yeah, absolutely. Just looking at the London interchanges warming up. Hugh Worthington down here, another Welsh international. Heavily strapped right forearm.
Wonder what that's for.
Yeah, I'm going to say, I hope he doesn't poke that under anybody's chin. I hope he hasn't been watching Jared Warrea Hargreaves. We'll say no more about that, Mick.
No.
Kick to come from Liam Harris.
think Barry McDermott was one as well, one in the going back. When he...
I'll let you tell him. Liam Harris, hanging kick and between the sticks.
Yep.
Fabulous kick from Liam Harris. I think Liam Harris, I think one of his returns to fitness has been prompted by the championship top point scorer, you know, because Jake Shorrocks was tracking him down. He really was, the Toulouse half-back. But Liam's added 2. And he goes up to 180 points for the season. Jake Shorrocks is next in line on 141. Restart kick caught by Hingano. Not caught by, caught by Hingano, handed off to Jack Martin, I think, under the pile. Yeah, picks himself up eventually. The one-time Wynnum Manley Seagulls player. Staying for next season, not been announced, apart from
really?
Andy Atkinson.
Signing.
Oh, it's all this inside information I can't make. Which mostly I keep to myself. It was Jack that said it, not me.
Oh, that's great news for the club.
Yeah, it is. And as I say, when you think about it, Jack Martin and Paul Vaughan in your front row, they're useful.
Definitely.
Plenty of Australian twang anyway. Hello to our Australian listeners. Hope you're with us today. Down under. Some cracking NRL action as Liam Harris puts a steepler up, and there was a difference of opinion, and Chris Hellick eventually decided that he was having the ball. And that sun is about to reach us on the media benches as the London players heading for touch. Ben Jones-Bishop and Liam Harris dump Marcus Carey into touch. The London players go and commiserate with him, but Ben Jones-Bishop and Liam Harris showing fabulous strength. Ben Jones-Bishop was the front end of the wheelbarrow and Liam Harris was the wheels, Mick.
Yeah, I was just about to say that Carey actually is a bit of a handful. Really sharp, actually, coming out of backfield. He made a really good break earlier in the game, but the York players there picked him up and took him over the line. You know, 10 metres picked him up and took him over. So not a bad player though, Carey. Don't mind him.
Nope, certainly not. On loan from Leeds. First game today for London Broncos. Knights are back in possession on the 30. Jack Martin again. Strong carry again. Down gets the offload. Harris, right side attack. Just pushed Connor O'Byrne, his opposite number, just pushed him off. It was like swatting a fly, and I mean, Connor O'Byrne's about 6'3" tall. McShane, Hingano, cool as a cucumber, ball onto Holyfield. Galliano is in again. Great work by the Knights. Switched it from right to left, and Galliano, he's just there waiting, isn't he? He's waiting. You know, just like a wasp with its stinger ready. Just there you go, have that.
He can score them, can't he? We've got Ben Jones-Bishop doing it on this side, and we've got Scott Galliano on the other side doing the same, and just so exciting to watch. Holyfield there with, again, he set that try up. Holyfield, really strong, straight running, managing to attract defenders, give Galliano a bit of space to get in the corner. Great try again by York.
Yeah. And started with Liam Harris swatting off Connor O'Byrne and then moving the ball onto the left side of the attack, and again just went through hands, Mick, and London's defence just found wanting on that right side again where young Charlie Robson is. But to be honest with you, I think they were just outnumbered, weren't they?
They were, yeah. Just really good straight running again, great attack. Yeah, going back to the handoff there from Liam Harris. He's actually 6'5", actually. I did a bit of work on Connor O'Byrne. He's a big lad, and he just pushed him down, no problem.
Yeah, there's a smell of chicken tikka or something wafts through my nostrils. I don't know who's eating that, Mick, but he's making me feel hungry. I've been doing this since about quarter to 12 this morning. So, BBC Radio York, all our frequencies on online. Second game of the day. 6 points to 0 for the Valkyrie against Warrington. They've got bigger fish to fry next week in the form of Wigan Warriors, top of the league up at Newcastle. And Dave Parkinson will be with you for that game. Liam Harris eyes the posts. He's potted one from there. He's got it up high. It's got a chance, but it misses. So it remains 14 points to 6 to the Knights. They have had, what, 80% of the play, Mick? 85% of the play early?
I think they probably have, yeah.
No Kieran Hudson again today for the Knights after that head knock he took. Kieran's wandering about down in front of us. Looks as though he's about to join the young fellas down in front here. That's a cracking haircut on that young fella down there. That's a mullet and a half. So now it's back in possession. McShane to Thompson. Knights fans are singing. They're making a racket.
Yeah, it certainly seems to be more York fans here today, Andy. I think it was saying earlier on. It
absolutely should be. We've said it before, haven't we, Mick?
Yeah.
Fabulous entertainment. Penalty against Sadiq Adebayi. And then once more, not square at the markers, referee Kevin Moore says. Change for the Knights. Jack Martin comes off. Great round of applause. Mitch Clark goes out there. And I've been informed today, we've talked about his dad in the past, who was a fabulous hooker for Bradford Bulls. Actually had 7 games in a York rugby league shirt, did Trevor Clark. Presumably at hooker. Knights shipping the ball along the line. Jesse D, the driver, just taking the tackle eventually. Knights make their second change. Mark Applegarth walks and exchanges handshakes and high fives with Jack Martin as Mitch Clark makes ground. Got his first try of the season last week, Mitch Clark. Hingano at pace this time. Hingano attacking, gets a high one from Connor Byrne, wrapped around the head. Just a loose arm, nothing malicious in it from Connor O'Byrne at all. He was just trying to stop at Hingano, and he's explaining that to the referee. He said, "What do you want me to do?" He was going at 100 miles an hour, like trying to jump onto a train that was going through the station non-stop, Mick.
Yeah, nice switch play there to get Hingano coming back across the post.
This Knights side, when they've got everybody available, possess so much strike.
They do.
In an opposing defence, it must be an absolute nightmare.
They've got a real ability to like switch the point of attack as well.
Yep, that chameleon-like quality that I keep referring to, Santi. Wonderful bit during the week. They'd been at one of the schools had been down to training. A young lad turned up with a long haircut and a headband and a moustache. He was about 8 years old, but it was just fabulous. Brendan Santi made such a fuss of him. That's how you engage, you know, youngsters.
Without a doubt, yeah. But he's a real character, isn't he?
I'll guarantee that lad's here today. Here is Santi. Again, Knights in the 10 once more. They lead 14-6, 12 minutes to the break. BBC Radio York. Myself, Mick Ramsden, bringing you the action. Hingano floats one. And Galliano is it again. He's got a hat-trick in 13 minutes, well, 28 minutes. And that was all about the pass from Mate Hingano. We talked about that cool, calculating quality that seems to be infectious that comes from Paul McShane. Hingano looked up, realised that the next 2 players in the line, Jesse D and Holyfield, were both marked by London players and simply just floated it over the top. Great cut-out pass, and Galliano twisted through the tackle. They're in again, Mick.
Yeah, another great. It was well taken by Galliano. It wasn't actually a walk-in. He still had to I think he had 1 or 2 players to beat, but his momentum took him over. But good pass. You're talking about Hingano's decision-making, and in the right areas of the field, they can try things like that. You know, they're literally 15 metres out from the line, and it was on, and he spotted it, delivered a perfect pass. Hat-trick for Galliano, great, really good. Yeah.
So, they're in again. It is 18 points to 6. Scott Galliano has try 17 for the season. Ben Hersey-Horde, the former Leeds Rhinos youngster, is about to be introduced to the action by Mike Eccles, the London Broncos head coach. who's a lovely fella, came up and did a little interview with us for RiseUpTV before kick-off. And very pleasant guy and a good coach as well. Kick to come from Liam Harris off that same spot. I wonder if Scott Galliano's put that ball down on the same blade of grass 3 times, Mick.
He can't have been far away, can he, Andy, there?
He's putting a show on for his mate, because Luke Paulselli, the London Broncos player, out injured at the moment, big mate of Scott Galliano's, and I think he's sort of showing off a bit, to be honest. Here's that kick from Liam Harris. Up high again. Has it got enough legs? It has a chance, and it drops. I think away to the right-hand side. That London change, Kobe Ruggles comes off. Ben Hersey Horde is out in the action. Played at Halifax for a while as well. Started in the academy at the Broncos, moved up north, and then came back, which Tommy Porter, who's on the bench for the Broncos, he did that as well. He went up to Manchester University, played for Swinton for a while. He's come back down south. Restart kick caught by Hingano. Hingano to Mitch Clark off the back fence. Out there in the haze in the lee of the west stand, as me and Mick shade our eyes. Santi tackled. London trying to do a containing job high up the field here. There comes Jordy Thompson. Sun glinting off his top of his head. Stop tittering, Mick Ramsden. Tell them at Alpha. Oh, the Knights fans, they're buzzing today, aren't they, up the other end of the stand?
Yeah, they're enjoying it today, aren't they?
Yep, Hingano with the kick. Down towards Chris Helleck. The full-back goes across there. I've made a note there against Chris Helleck. His name on my team sheet. I can't work out what on earth I've put. Here's Charlie Robson in off his wing. Working hard to try and break the line. Had trials with Hull FC and Lee before he ended up with the Broncos. Giving him a chance. Curtis Davies, short ball into Ben Hersey Horde. Cut down by a combined challenge of Buchanan and Santi. Play switches into the centre of the field. Back to Conor O'Byrne. Another lofted kick towards Ben Jones-Bishop this time. And if Conor Byrne had seen Ben Jones-Bishop in action the other week when it was blowing a hoolie, taking high kicks for fun, he might have gone a different direction with that one.
Only second time London have been in York's half, really, from what I can remember. They've had very little field position, have they, Andy, in this half?
No, and they've got to hunt the mistake high up there. Nope, Knights player coughs the ball up. There's Mitch Clark with the carry. Former Sheffield Eagles player, of course. They were in the game down in Toulouse yesterday, 16-6 at half-time, and absolutely wheels fell off in the second half. Matty Marsh back in the equation for the Eagles. Hingano, great footwork, back to Max Shane, looking to put the kick in, tries to get a leg free, goes to Holyfield. Holyfield, and the ball's drifted forward, indicated by the touch judge. So the Knights stifled on halfway, but they lead by 18 points to 6 at the moment.
Yeah, I watched that Toulouse game this morning, and it was they do a terrible in the first half.
Yep.
London, like you say, I think they're 18-6 up with like 14 minutes left. But they just stepped up the gas, Toulouse, and London just couldn't go with them.
Yep. Here's Marcus Stock. Just punches the ball up. Jordy Thompson hunted him. Finally, just eases his leg off the deck and dumps Marcus Stock onto the LNER turf. Davis, right side to Jensen Binks. Drop-off ball into Will Lovell. And Will Lovell, as I say, is 15 seasons on and off with the Broncos, 3 at the Scholars. Nice hands by Broncos there. Finally get the ball out to Carey, and he with good sense, cuts back inside before he gets dumped into touch again. He's had the dose of that once, doesn't want another. Davis on to Ben Hersey-Horde in the centre field. On the last for London, what can they come up with? Davis goes to O'Byrne, look for the kick, under pressure from McShane, and caught by the Broncos. Have they got that ball down? No, double movement, that's going to be chalked off. Hugh Worthington, yep, double movement. That was good work by the interchange prop forward to get there, Mick. He got there in a hurry, didn't he? But referee Kevin Moore was right on the spot and said there was a double movement to put it down over the try line, so the Knights have escaped. But it was a clever bit of work, and it was a nice kick from Conor O'Byrne, the Australian.
Just looking at Liam here, I think he might have been the one that actually made the tackle, because Worthington caught the ball.
He's down in trouble here is Liam Harris. Conor O'Byrne, formerly with Lesignan and Carcassonne in the French leagues. Started his career over in Oz with Maitland Pickers. Team I know absolutely nothing about. He's flexing that right leg. Chris Thorman's gone out there. The doctor's out there. Stuss, the physio's out there. He won't come off for Liam. He's just absolutely determined he's going to keep playing. And the Knights have the penalty for the double movement. So Paul McShane with the ball in his hand. Destined for you and me, Mick, this one.
It's not far off.
No, it isn't. Just cannons off one of the barriers in front of us. That's just about where Jeff Wrigglesworth sits, the one-time York Rugby League player, where that ball cannoned away. But the Knights are back in motion again. Harvey Reynolds warming up down in front of us. Well, we're all warming up with that sun, but Harvey's just doing a bit of work with it as well. Jody Thompson, BBC Radio York, all our frequencies and online, following the Knights down in Toulouse next Friday night. It'll not be me, James Fletcher's down there covering the action for us. I get mixed up with my European times and UK times, so hopefully somebody in the studio will just prompt me what time is the UK kick-off for that one down at Stade Arnaud in Minimez in the Barrière de Paris district of Toulouse. Good catch by Chris Ellick. 5 p.m. I'm told next Friday night, so you'll need to be with Saturday. I'm not sure that's, well, unless they've switched it again. I thought it was Friday night. We'll get confirmation of that. London in possession. Ben Hersey-Horde gets through. Slipped past the tackles of Santi and D and made London some good ground there, and that was quite alarming for the centre of the Knights' defence, but good footwork by the former Rhinos Academy player, Hugh Worthington, another Welsh international with the carry. Held 20 out. London pressing again. They trail 18-6 at the moment. Conor O'Byrne once more with the ball in his hand. Goes to Chris Hellick. Hellick trying to wend his way past Connor Bailey. Can't do so, but they are within 13 to the left of the post, but on the last. Davis, O'Byrne puts the kick in. Comes off the shins of Kieran Buchanan. He's been allowed to go.
Oh, no.
He's been brought back. It came off his shin, surely.
Certainly looked that way.
And it means London are going to get the ball back. And Kieran Buchanan's explaining to referee Kevin Moore that it came off his shins, explaining to anybody who wants to listen. Conor O'Byrne didn't want to listen. He's thinking about where London go with this ball that they've been presented with by the officials. That one's worth another look.
Certainly didn't look like a knock-on, did it, Andy?
No.
It's...
Scrum down, London ball, big chance. McShane quickly off the base of the scrum, and they're in O'Byrne's face very, very sharply. Ngannou was quick as well.
Very quick there.
He was greyhound out of the traps there. Ben Hersey-Horde again at the centre of the defence. They've got him this time. Just inside the 10. And here we go, on to the right side of the attack. Charlie Robson is going to end up in touch as a young man. London had to promote that ball onto the left side. It was Natoli that scooped it up off the floor, shipped it on to Charlie Robson, but the young fella had nowhere to go. And just to confirm, I was correct in that game being Friday night. I'm told it's 6:30 UK time, so that will be, I would think, part of our Friday sports programme that no doubt you join us with every week. And yeah, fabulous game, of course, because both teams at the moment, at the start of this game, were at the top of the table with 32 points apiece, and it may well be for the League Leaders' Shield, that one, although the Knights just have that this game today to go 2 points clear again, but they're finding it hard to get out of defence. Mitch Clark made a hole there, had the ball on offer, and there was nobody on his shoulder. Strong running by Kieran Buchanan, runs into contact, strong tackle from a combination of O'Byrne and Smith. Felt that a bit, the Scottish international. And the natives getting restless behind me again as Ollie Field makes ground down the left side, but he's brought down inside the Knights 40. And suddenly London have found a bit of resilience, Mick.
They have, there's some good shots coming in.
Yeah,
they're still working out, even though they're so far behind, they're only 12 points behind, but
yeah,
they're really having a go.
Yeah, here's Liam Harris with a kick. Gets the kick downfield into Chris Hellick. Hellick to Carey. He sort of slithers under the tackle of Bailey and Thompson and goes to ground. Conor O'Byrne. Ball into Charlie Robson, in off his wing. And then Ethan Natoli absolutely swamped. Left London, went to Baruda de Pia in the French League. Rejoined London at the end of the season, and apparently he's going back to Pia for the French 2025-2026 season, which is essentially a winter competition, the French League. Bit out of step, 1 minute to the break, indicated by Hebby down in front of us, who's looking after the timekeeping duties today in conjunction with my pal Dave Milburn down there, who's giving us a wave. He's obviously listening intently. He'll be looking to see I don't call him assistants. Great catch by Ben Jones-Bishop from an absolute steepler of a kick again, Mick Ramsden.
Yeah, massive again. Everything's through Conor O'Byrne with London. He's definitely the flag. He's the mark. You can see the York players trying to get to him every time he gets the ball, but everything's coming off him.
Yeah, well, because of injury with London, Luke Polselli out there having to play young Jensen Binks there, who's come through the academy at London, but he's definitely the sleeping partner of the half-back partnership.
Yeah. There's a young kid in here, I think Jensen Binks is only 20 years old. Still learning his trade, but yeah, at the moment everything's through Conor O'Byrne. All the kicks, all the good stuff that they do is really through him.
Sharp intake of breath there as Liam Harris threw that cut-out pass, and there was a danger. There was going to be an interception, but the ball was mishandled and went to the floor. And the hooter sounds for half-time. It's been fascinating first half, Mick Ramsden. 18 points to 6, the Knights lead. They were very, very dominant earlier on, but the Broncos have come back into it, haven't they?
Yeah, I mean, you look at the scoreline, you probably think it should be a bigger score for York. But three well-taken tries on the left. Very, very good play on the left for those three, and then the Ben Jones-Bishop try on the right, and it's 18-6. York have really been dominant, really, for this half.
4 tries for the Knights in that first half, and including an 11-minute hat-trick for Scott Galliano, but it was Bailey Antrobus who set the position for the Knights early. They moved the ball onto the right side through Liam Harris and Ben Jones-Bishop. just hugging the touchline, cut back inside, managed to force the ball down in the right corner. The Knights then had a real spell of pressure, but it was London who were good enough to hit back, and it was Conor O'Byrne's grubber kick, angled in behind the post. It jumped, as a rugby ball is prone to do, over the top of Ata Hingano, and we're not sure who got on it. It might have been Ethan Natoli. We've still not had that confirmed. But anyway, he managed to touch the ball down before it went dead. Jack Smith converted and London were ahead. But on 19 minutes, the Knights struck in the left corner through Scott Galliano from about 15 metres out. They simply just moved the ball left along the line, and in he went. Liam Harris converted a beauty off the touchline, 10 points to 6. The Knights continued the pressure as London tried to come out of defence. Marcus Carey was dumped into touch. Knights profited from that. Again on the left side, again Galliano in the left corner with Ollie Field assisting, and that was after Liam Harris had knocked Conor O'Byrne off the ball on the right-hand side of the attack. On 29 minutes, the Knights scored again. Again, Galliano, his 17th try of the season, his third of the day in the left corner. Lovely cut-out pass, great awareness from Ata Hingano. Liam Harris couldn't add on the extras. Last 10 minutes up to half-time has been a much more even game, and London showing signs of trouble in the Knights. They did get over. It was Hugh Worthington, but it was chalked off for a double movement. So at half-time, what do you think Mark Applegarth will be saying, Mick?
I don't know. I think he'd be reasonably comfortable with what's happened. I mean, field position has been all about York being in the opposition's half. Really, London have very rarely had any decent ball. I mean, obviously, I was saying about Conor O'Byrne is the one. I think if they look after him, there's not much. But London, they're not a bad side though. They've got something about them. I mean, this Chris Hellick from fullback, I've been impressed with him. Made a couple of decent, real strong runs, especially coming out of backfield. So Carey, good evasion. He's one to watch. He's often beats the first man. He's got something there. London are a threat. York just need to look after the ball and be patient. I still think that they're going to come away with a comfortable win.
Yeah. Thank you, Mick Ramsden. We're going to do a bit of sunbathing. We're going to have some coffee and biscuits during the interval. The sun has reached us, so it is a bit like the beach in Benidorm down here on the media benches at the LNER. But with the score at 18 points to 6 to the Knights, we'll hand you back to James Hogarth in the studio.
Rugby league players and supporters have been dreaming of an opportunity like this.
He does a bit of a bogey.
Intercepted by Meninga. Block is away.
What a try!
Forward with the step. Turbo is away. Tom Trebojevic.
Two generations of rugby league players and supporters have been dreaming of an opportunity like this.
Yeah, thanks very much, James. And all the news from around and about during the interval. Interesting looking at some of those championship scores. Going to be London to kick off the second half, kicking from left to right as we look at it in the main stand. 18 points to 6 to the Knights. 3 tries for Scott Galliano in that first half. Balls up high, sails towards Attingano, shields his eyes, and then Harvey Reynolds. Woo, that was a meeting. That was Harvey Reynolds and Hugh Worthington in opposition, and I think you might have to say that the Welsh international, the more senior of the two players, probably came off a little better.
He only knows one way to go, Harvey Reynolds. He got one of them in the first half as well. Real big shot. That was a big hit. That.
Yeah. It doesn't seem to deter him, because the next time you see him, it'll just be a similar carry, won't it? He's a bit like Kieran Hudson in that respect.
He is.
Just straight up the middle, the old Frank Sinatra touch. No, good kick from McShane. That's got Chris Ellick scuttling, and look at this chase. Look at this nice chase coming right across the field. Where's Chris Ellick going to go? Nowhere. Absolutely nowhere. Brilliant work from the Knights. Great kick from Shane. Take all the pressure off. Switch the pressure straight onto your opponents. Get them in that old pressure cooker.
That's it, Andy. Look, the players, London players, trying to get back behind the ball. It's a bit sickening, is it, when that beautiful kick that into the corner?
Yeah. You could see Chris Ellick when he picked the ball up, a long chase back, and then to turn and see that lot coming at you.
There's no space to go into.
It's like watching John Wayne coming over the hill with his troops. I don't fancy this much. Hugh Worthington again. He's added a bit of impetus to this London Broncos effort since he came on. A few hellos, very quick hellos. Paul Lovely, he's at work today, poor old Paul. You great grafting kid. Knights are on top at the moment. Pete Gledhill, it's his birthday. Happy birthday, Pete. Hope you're having a good day. He'll be at the match, so he won't hear the message anyway, but hopefully somebody will pass it on. Sean in round 8 gets in touch on a regular basis. Thank you for listening. And Johnny Forkey, one of my old mates. Johnny's becoming a bit of a Knights fan from a distance, so hello to him as well. And everybody else that listens in on a Sunday, great to have you along. Don't forget, 6:30, kick-off next Friday night. Knights down in Toulouse. James Fletcher in the hot seat. And then on Sunday at Blaydon, the Valkyrie in action against table-toppers Wigan. That kicks off at 1 o'clock. We'll be on air online at 12:50 with Dave Parkinson looking after that one. And you're thinking Andy's having an easy week off. I aren't. I'm at Bridlington commentating on Scarborough against Peterborough Sports on Saturday. Little kick from Liam Harris, well taken by Chris Ellick, under pressure, but deep down in the corner. And another great place to turn the ball over for the Knights, Mick Ramsden.
Yeah, it's hard coming out with that corner. Knights flying into the tackles here, trying to control the ruck so they can get off the line quick.
Next try is going to be important in this game. Mick, we say it so often after half-time, but at 18-6, London get the next try. The game's still on the boil. If Knights get it, you'd start to think that maybe they've,
pulling away.
Yeah, they're away. But London are still very much in this game, still very, very competitive. And when you look at that league table, 6 wins down in 10th position, they're a far better side than that, aren't they? Jensen Binks with the kick out towards the touchline, and Scott Galliano doesn't really have an interest. It skips into touch, bounced just about a foot. It was a well-measured kick by the young halfback.
It was. I think they're just missing a. They've got the like I mentioned in Conor O'Brien. It's so much pressure on his shoulders in this London team.
Yep.
There's just not enough.
And a player that's only been back after. I mean, he's only been back after injury for 2-3 games, maybe.
Yeah. Just lacking in that area, because they're certainly working hard, and they're still in this game. And like you say, if they get a try, they're well back in the game.
Yeah, McShane to Ngannou, left side, the attack. Ngannou finds a bit of space, and a great ball to Holyfield. Can he get away? No, dumped into touch. Great chase by Ethan Natoli. Fabulous bit of work.
Ngannou, he's got some skill, Andy, hasn't he?
Yeah, I'm just trying to see if it was Ethan Natoli that made the tackle.
Yeah. But it didn't.
It may well have been Ben Hersey-Horde, you know, that made that tackle. But that was a fabulous bit of work for a prop forward, if it was. But Hingado got Holyfield away down this left side, but he beat the first tackle, but couldn't beat the second one. And again, this London Broncos side, they're not shy of turning up for one another, Mick.
They're not. They are giving everything out there. Hingado there with it was a no-look pass. He didn't look as though he was going to give it to Holyfield. He was carrying the ball in his right hand.
Yep.
And he just didn't even look. He just swung the ball. It was a one-handed pass to Holyfield with very, very little space along the touchline as well. But Holyfield did really well. But very good covering tackle from the London Bronco player.
Take no notice of me, Mick. I'm shuffling around in my seat like a man on hot bricks here, but I was just looking for my baseball cap. But I've got it. Right. I've taped it to the seat.
So panic over. You've got it.
But it is going to be Broncos ball, but only 10 from their own line. That's it, all readjustments made, baseball cap on. I can stop shielding my eyes. Curtis Davies into Will Lovell. Still 18-6, we have had about 6 minutes of the second half. Curtis Davies, he's been out there for the duration. Marcus Stock, that last minute pass takes it right to the line, does Marcus Stock, before he offloads. Played with Hemel before he came to the Knights. 78 appearances for the York Knights, 18 tries, good servant under James Ford.
Yeah, he certainly was, and he's still a good player now. He works really, really hard in this London Broncos team.
Yeah, he's part of the London paddle team as well. Do you know what that is? It's nothing to do with rowing.
Yeah, I've heard about it recently, actually. It's an up-and-coming sport, apparently.
Yeah.
But is it a bit like tennis and table tennis? I don't know, table tennis.
Yeah, well, it certainly involves some sort of wooden bat. Kick from Jensen Binks. He's steepled that one. That's dropping towards Tao Matarafa. Takes it consummately. And then wrestles past a couple of tackles and engaging 3 London Broncos players. London Broncos player down in back play. Getting some attention on halfway. Referee Kevin Moore keeping half an eye on it. I think it might be, I'm not sure, he's gone down again. It's either Ben Hersey-Horde or it's Ethan Natoli. It's Hersey-Horde, I think, and he's another one that's added something since he came on.
Yeah, it's getting a bit close to him now. They had to stop the play.
Yeah, he was sort of watching out of his back eye there was Kevin Moore, just to see what was going on, but
it's an ankle problem, I think, by the looks of it.
Yeah. Well, Mike Eccles won't want any more injuries for his Broncos side on the run-in. They really got to a stage now where they can't really get to the playoffs, which is unfortunate, but of course they might yet be in Super League. The influencer Gary Hetherington there, who's taken over and is orchestrating that. He sat just up the stand from us, again, former York player years ago for the Wasps. Matt Ross, the Welsh international, comes on. And the interchange is made, and it is Ben Hersey-Horde who comes limping off, unfortunately for him. In the 18 shirt, makes his way to the bench, sits down, takes the pressure off. Knights are in possession. Hingano, quick pass into Mitch Clark with the Broncos line on top of them. Just in their own half of the field, BBC Radio York, all our frequencies and online, following the York Knights all season long. We're at the pointy end of the season. Doncaster and Batley among the teams to come for the Knights. Liam Harris puts that high kick up down into the corner. Chris Alex dropped it, but he's dropped it backwards. It was a cool bit of work by the former French Elite League player.
Ben Jones-Bishop was offside there, right in front of the linesman, and it didn't get a call.
Yeah, it's poor when you see that, Mick, isn't it?
It is.
Particularly if if that ball had been dropped by Chris Ellick and Ben Jones-Bishop had scooped it off and gone in for the try. You know, I look at that second Liam Tyndall try for London Broncos last week, and it doesn't matter how many times you watch it, it's horrible. It's a horrible forward pass. Not picked up by the officials. And I suppose in mitigation. They're only human. Ooh, that's ball's gone forward, but it came so close to an interception there. It was Liam Harris and Ben Jones-Bishop that were hovering like a couple of vultures sat on a fence there waiting for that ball to arrive, and neither of them quite got to it, but very, very close to picking that one off, and Broncos would have been in big trouble had they done so. It's still 18-6.
High risk play by Broncos. I mean, they're in the game. They're in the game. They're only 2 tries behind, and that pass from Conor O'Bain was not necessary. It's just put themselves under pressure.
Yep. McShane to Harris. Harris to Ingado. The Knights had players over there initially, and then London managed to scramble across. Ball never reached Scott Galliano. Ingano again in centre field, just takes the tackle, just calms things. McShane ambles up to the play the ball. Mitch Clark, bang! Him and Hugh Worthington in a meeting. It's going to be a shoulder charge. Knights will take the 2, surely.
Yeah, it was as well. Worthington, he's put himself about, hasn't he?
Yeah.
Very strong, good defender. Those one-on-one collisions, he's right up there.
Well picked up by referee Kevin Moore.
Yeah.
Right on the money, it was a shoulder charge, banged him off. And the Knights are not taking the 2, Mick.
No.
That would have put him an extra score clear. Would have put him 3 scores clear.
I think they just need to finish the set, if not score.
What do I know? Conor Bailey.
They must feel confident with this.
Ramps the ball into the 10. Just to the right of the sticks. Cross the centre. Thompson, reverse ball into Reynolds. Reynolds still going. Almost had enough strength to get over the line there. Paul McShane under the sticks.
Space.
They're sweeping it wide. The Ghost! Has he got it down? Yes! The return of the Ghost. Yeah. And it's haunted London Broncos in this second half. You called the gap, Mick, and Liam Harris out there was good enough to see it. Stepped off his right foot, cooked back, and in he goes for the try.
Just York's ability to pick out the space and get the ball to the right places, and another example of that there. Liam Harris turned back inside, managed to get through and score, and made it look easy, really. I think York were confident they could get a try from that rather than kicking the goal. And it just showed that, you know, the backs the confidence in themselves.
Yep, Liam Harris, he goes to 17 tries for the season, goes level with Scott Galliano, adds 4 more points to his season tally at the top of the championship point scorers. Marcus Stock comes off, he's put a good shift in for Stocky. Another likeable fella, Marcus Stock.
He is definitely. He's tried his hardest, like a lot of the London players. You can't fault the effort that the team have put in. Harvey Reynolds is off for York. He's had a good stint.
Yep.
Taking those 2 big hits and just carried on. He's a strong lad. Not seen much of him really. It's quite impressive. A really tough lad. Definitely a tough player.
Mark Applegarth really rates him.
Yeah.
Ex-Hull KR, of course.
Yeah.
Here comes a kick from Liam Harris. He's still high in the sticks. He's going to try and tag 2 more on. Sweeps his foot through the ball, sweeps the ball through the post. The Knights lead at 24 points to 6. I was talking complete rubbish when I was saying they should have gone for the penalty.
It's the feeling on the field, I guess, isn't it? At the end of the day, Liam Harris has probably made the call. Just the feeling of the team at the time. They've not really had that much good ball. They've had a lot of ball, but it's mainly been sort of midfield, hasn't it? And then they get an opportunity close to the line, and they're obviously confident they could get over.
Yep. So Jack Smith to restart for the Broncos, who have conceded that first try of the second half. Ingano and Bailey Antrobus back out in the action, having replaced Harvey Reynolds. Jack Martin also back out in the front lines. McShane, Conor Bailey. Just goes about his work, Conor Bailey, week in, week out.
He's got better as the season's gone on, hasn't he, Conor Bailey?
Yeah, it's just been a fabulous signing.
Yeah.
Jody Thompson working hard again. McShane once more puts the kick in. Chris Ellick, that bounces a little bit more conveniently for him. He'll get that on the front foot, but he's then marked by Jack Martin and Bailey Antrobus. Yeah, I remember watching Bailey Antrobus. He recovered from that ACL, and I remember watching the Wales International and seeing him go down and seeing his knee twist underneath him, and my heart absolutely sank, not only from a Knight's point of view, but more from a point of view of Bailey.
Yeah.
And to come back from 2 of those is just phenomenal, you know.
It is. And I think the way that the club are obviously managing his time here, he got 13 minutes in the first half.
Yeah.
So
they've lost the ball here of the Broncos. Ben Jones-Bishop needs the bounce. Make sure he gets the ball. He was in danger of knocking on as he stooped, so he just made sure he collared the ball and put the Knights back in possession. And that, again, was real common sense from an experienced player. Ngannou finds a gap. Ngannou still going, tries to bludgeon his way through under the sticks. Still going, can't get the ball down. Held up right under the right-hand stick, or left-hand stick as we look at it. Ngannou, McShane, back to Harris again, weaving, gets the offload, Conor Bailey walking. Great work, great presence of mind. Liam Harris committed all the players. Conor Bailey turned upon his shoulder and said, thank you very much, I'll have that one.
And that's in players turning up for each other.
Yep.
You know, they're saying Super League, when you play at that level, that there's always a player. I remember Lee Jackson telling me years ago that wherever you are, there's always a player there in the right place to take the pass, and that's exactly what happened there with Liam Harris. Made the break, looked like all for one he was going to score, but he just had to turn, and Conor Bailey was on his shoulder.
Yeah, great
really
work
good try
again by the Knights. We've said it all season now, this team turns up relentlessly for one another. And it's paid off again with more points. And started, of course, by the mercurial handling and feet of Ata Ngannou.
He's used his footwork today very well, actually. Just little kind of, he changes his rhythm in his feet, and it's not even a sidestep, it's just like a little shuffle, but it throws defenders off.
Better player when he's not trying too hard.
Absolutely.
We said it in the first half, didn't we?
Without a doubt. He is a class player.
That Paul McShane philosophy that you cannot score off every play.
No, that's it.
And Ben Jones-Bishop over there, you know, it would have been easy to knock that ball on, but he just made sure the Knights got possession, and they've gone on to score from that, you know, that London error. 28 points to 6. Liam Harris to tag 2 more on. And if Jake Shorrocks of Toulouse was having any thoughts of being championship top scorer at the end of the season, I think Liam Harris has probably just waved and wagged his little finger at him and said, no, that's not going to happen. So he gets 2 more. The Knights go out to 30. It is 30 points to 6.
Conversion for the Knights.
Kevin Moore in conversation with Will Lovell.
Liam Harris.
I think Will Lovell, whatever the conversation was about, has given best to Kevin Moore's opinion. Chris Thorne trots back to the touchline to report to his head coach. Little conversation going on. The ball skips once off the turf. Toa Matafa, Bailey Antrobus.
Yeah, going back to Bailey Antrobus, Andy, do you know what sort of minutes he played last week for Newcastle? Did he play a full game, or did they spell him?
No, I think they spelled him.
They should do, because you've just got to be careful with players coming back from a big injury like that. And I thought what Mark Applegath did in the first half was great. 13 minutes, bring him off, see what he feels like.
Ngannou's at it again. He's broken away again, and then can't get the offload. It slithers out of his hands, just as Jesse D, his partner in crime, was ranging up on his shoulder to take the pass. Yeah, you look at that Newcastle Thunder last week, and we know the problems at Newcastle, and Graham Steadman trying to fashion a competitive side up there, and a lot of young fellas up there.
Yeah.
But it had a good second row last week when you looked at Jake Gannon and Bailey Antrobus in there.
He did. Yeah, so just got to ease him in. He's gone on with 28 minutes to go in this second half. I just wonder if he's going to play the full 28. You know, that's if he feels confident to do it, great.
I would think they might leave that down to Bailey, to be honest.
Yeah, I think so.
But it's hot out there now. It's hot sat here, Mick.
It is.
Little short side move by London. Sadiq Adebayi ranging onto that ball. And they come back to O'Byrne, has been as good as anybody for him today. And then Kobe Ruggles back out there. Little Jensen Binks with his socks round his ankles, throws the ball on the floor, but Ethan Natoli, the Italian international, picks it up, tidies things up on the 20. Now it's 20 in from the near touchline. Ruggles again. Ruggles to O'Byrne. O'Byrne still going, still running O'Byrne, and then the ball swatted back into London possession. But I think referee Kevin Moore and his touch judge have determined that the initial London pass had gone forward, Mick. I think that's the way I interpreted that one at this distance.
Yeah, Liam Harris came out of the line there. He shot up on the outside of Conor O'Byrne and left a little bit of space there. It looked like York were in trouble, but scrambled well again.
Yep.
You know, you're talking about
Taylor Pemberton about to come on.
We were talking earlier about before the game. Actually, I was talking to James about York not wanting to get conceded against. You know, get tries scored against them, and they really do. They got so much pride in the try line.
Yeah.
Even at a score like 30 points to 6.
Another London player down. In back play, blow to the head. Will Lovell, the skip. Nice shift this ball along the line, but it then spews out of the hands of Kieran Buchanan. And he's in trouble there, is Will Lovell. The referee needs to just put a hold on this. And that's very convenient because I just wanted to let you know about our community sides who were in action. And Acorn in the Premier Division went down 50 points to 6 against Waterhead Warriors. So heavy defeat for the Acorn, but Heworth were on winning ways with a 30 points to 14 win away to Oldham St Anne's. Jack Sadler, 2 tries and 3 conversions, and Burton Deaton and George Elliott were the other try scorers. I think Finley Tate got a conversion in that as well, but 30 points to 14, and Scott Rhodes' team still up at the pointy end of Division 1, looking for a return to the Prem. And Will Lovell still stricken out on the turf at the moment, Mick.
Yeah, he's not moved much, and just hope he's okay. Yeah, getting a lot of attention from.
Yeah, he's been such a cracking player for the Broncos, and obviously was part of that side that got promoted to Super League. He had a spell at London Scholars 2013 to 2016, played against the Knights during that period. And best part of 150 appearances in a Broncos shirt. I keep saying it, I've said it once or twice in this game. Poor Mike Eccles down there just rubbing his brow, and he must be thinking, oh, not another injury. Ethan Natoli just glances back at where his skipper's laid on the turf. 30 points to 6 to the Knights. BBC Radio York. You want to get in touch? You can text us, start your message with the word York, 81333. Tweet us at BBC York Sport, or you can WhatsApp us. It is 08000 Again, you have to start your message with the word York. The Knights players have all sensibly gone and stood in the shadow of the West Stand over on the far side, apart from Jodie Thompson. And I think Tawamata Afa doing a bit of sunbathing as well. And Jack Martin, of course. The old beach boy there who would give you the impression that he's always frozen when he's in the UK.
Yeah. Sat up.
Yeah, Will Lovell sat up. That's brilliant to see. Whether it's a head knock or what, not sure, but Will Lovell making his way slowly to the touchline. Well appreciated by the Knights crowd. The clock says we've got 20 minutes left. It is 30 points to 6 to the York Knights. They are. Not only would they beat the record of James Ford's side in 2018 when they lost at Whitehaven mid-season and then won 15 on the bounce by beating Whitehaven to confirm promotion from League One. I understand that as far as records go back, and that we're talking back into the early 1900s, a York Rugby League side has never had 16 wins on the bounce.
Wow.
So it's some notable record, is that, when you look at the good players that have played at York and the good sides.
That's amazing.
Here come London, Hugh Worthington again, putting his shoulder to the wheel to try and get this Broncos side back into the game. Kobe Ruggles waits for the ball, slips the ball on, but once more the Knights defence very attentive in the centre there, in the form of Jack Martin and Taylor Pemberton, who's come on for not Paul McShane, because he's still out there. It was at Ngannou that Taylor Pemberton came on for. Curtis Davis, ball on to Conor O'Byrne, and they found a try. They found that try, and he enjoyed that, did Chris Helleck, the fullback, supporting in the line, and celebrates as though that had put the Broncos in front.
And it had to be them two, really. I think that those two players have been certainly one of, two of the better players for London. He's got really good hands, Conor O'Byrne. He created a bit of space there, managed to draw Connor Bailey in and just give a little soft hands ball to Christopher Hellick for the try. York will be disappointed, as we talked about. They've got a lot of pride in their goal line defence, and just pretty easy try that actually for London.
Yeah, London hit double figures. It's 30 points to 10. Kick to come. Jack Smith has the job. Jack Smith, who he played his junior rugby at Featherstone Lions. Not too far up the road. And he converts, so it is 30 points to 12. Jack Smith, second conversion of the game. 30-12 to the Knights. And Liam Harris to restart. Presumably Taylor Pemberton playing at half-back, although I suppose it could be Paul McShane at half-back and Taylor Pemberton at hooker.
Yeah, I think they've gone down that road. I think that's what they've done.
London trying to move the ball forward through Matt Ross. Another Welsh international in this side. Matt Ross played at London Scholars, also played down at Cornwall. Davis to Worthington, two more Welsh internationals. As they get to 35 from their own line, this Broncos side. Sadiq Adebayi with the carry. Second spell with the Broncos. Ruggles on to Binks. Binks and then Helleck just throwing a little dummy on the last for London. They'll go back to Conor O'Byrne. He'll steeple one, I'm quite sure. That long right leg of his, and Ben Jones-Bishop once more, just absolutely safe as houses under the high ball.
Difficult one as well, a spiral bomb from Conor O'Byrne. Well taken there.
There's your answer about Bailey Antrobus.
Yeah.
Just coming off. Brendan Santi going back out.
Shorter spell.
Yeah.
Well, it's good if that's what's needed.
They're getting him back to match fitness, and that's what counts, Mick. And he's certainly not been found wanting today, has he?
No.
And lovely interaction between him and his coach down there. And I think Mark Applegarth saying, you did everything we needed to do, kid.
He's smiling away there, happy that he's got back on the field.
Harris, what a kick that is. What a kick that is. He split him out there. Carey had to go right back. Knights chase, not quite as intense this time, but they've still cut London down in their 20. But angle kick out towards the far left corner by Liam Harris. Carey with another carry. Danakoro. replaces Hugh Worthington. That's been a good stint by Hugh Worthington. I've been impressed by that.
Yeah, he
comes off.
Strong lad. Looks a bit worse for wear at the moment, like.
Good catch there by Jensen Binks. That ball was in danger of going away from him. Played against the Knights for Whitehaven and Widnes in the past, as Hugh Worthington.
Yeah, he's put a stint in.
Rugless. I think they've possibly moved Rugless into halfback. That's where he seems to be operating at the moment. Conor O'Byrne once more steeples a kick. Toa Matarafa underneath this one, makes a bit of a mess of it. Referee said it went backwards.
He got away with one there.
I'm not absolutely convinced it went backwards. Mick, are you?
I'm not at all. That's a knock-on all day long in most cases.
Knights get away with one. Scott Galliano, that 12-minute hat-trick in the first half. Not had too many chances since, has he? Oh, there is a penalty. And that was just foolish there by the Broncos. Just conceding a penalty where there was absolutely no need whatsoever. It was Ben Hersey Horde, the offender, as Liam Harris's kick to touch was attempted to be caught by the young man in front of us, who didn't really get a hand on it. It's maybe a good job he didn't. Has it hit somebody down there? It has. It's hit a little girl down there. Hope she's all right. Knights come forward, ball out wide. Ben Jones-Bishop got work to do, still going, brought down 10 out. Pass delivered over the top by Liam Harris. Knights pressing away. Liam Harris, ball along the line into Jack Martin. Took that ball falling over, but retained possession, which was important. Harris again. Harris, Brendan Santee. Where did the London defence go? Conor O'Byrne was the man charged with... what's going on here? There's Conor O'Byrne dragging Ben Jones-Bishop around. I'm not sure what's been said there or why there was any need for that, but Conor O'Byrne got himself involved after being completely out of position and beaten by Brendan Santee's run to the line. And then there was an interchange between him and Ben Jones-Bishop, and then he decided to sort of give Ben Jones-Bishop the old bit of push and shove, but it doesn't really matter in the great scheme of things, because the Knights have scored again. Ben Jones-Bishop has his 26th try of the season, which advances him further still in the top try scorers. Idini Gebi was the nearest to him on 23, who will be in action today for Doncaster. But Ben Jones-Bishop just getting involved in a little altercation after Brendan Santee's try.
Nice line from Brendan Santee, picked up by Liam Harris. I think Liam Harris just drew the players, and pretty simple, really.
Yeah, just no one home, really, for London, was there? I don't know whether Conor Byrne had sort of rushed off the line to try and close somebody down, but if he did, he got it all wrong.
Yeah.
And Liam Harris will try and convert for a 36-12 lead for the Knights. And just to the right of the post, shouldn't have too much trouble. We've got 13 left. Liam Harris drills the ball through. Just watching referee Kevin Moore to see if I think if anything's been said to Conor O'Byrne, it's done and dusted. No, turns to him now and has a word with him. And now a conversation going on between the two of them.
It's the Knights 36, London Broncos 12.
And I think you can say the Knights have safely got that unbeaten record for the stashed away for the future, Mick.
Absolutely, yeah. It's they just keep going, don't they?
Broncos may have recovered the ball here through Marcus Carey. Rattled off somebody's shins out there in the shadow of the west stand. O'Byrne, ball on to Rugless. Rugless with a short ball, but the Knights' defence stops the London progress. Tommy Porter's now out there at hooker, having replaced Curtis Davis. Player who played at Swinton earlier in the season, Tommy Porter. Also spent a bit of time with Lee, I think. Here's Ruggles again, Ruggles to Binks. Binks short ball into Ben Hersey-Horde. 11 left on the clock, 36-12 to the Knights. Porter again, poor pass. Skipped in front of Kobe Ruggles. Dan Okoro decided to try and tidy up and just exacerbated the problem, Mick.
Yeah, should have been taken really. Bit of fatigue maybe, I don't know, but they're just not able to take the ball in. Wasted chance for London really, but...
Yeah, they certainly had a bit of field position there.
Yep. Noise coming from the York supporters now.
Yep. Yeah, they're making a racket. You've got about 5 minutes before you've got to start thinking about your man of the match, Mick.
Yep, fine.
Don't forget our Monday night sports programme, 6 p.m. with Tim Steer. Tomorrow night, all the reaction to York City's 2-0 win down against Truro. They left it late, but they got there. Goals from Kitchen and Stones. Harrogate still unbeaten in League 2. 1-1 draw down at Cambridge, and Scarborough got on the board. Now a good win against AFC Fylde, who came down from the National League. 2-1 up there at Brid, new home for Scarborough for the season. All the reaction to that tomorrow night, and of course our 2 games we've covered today. Taylor Pemberton is playing at hooker. Paul McShane's in the halves, under pressure. Gets a high kick up. Chris Helek caught by Galliano, offloads to Jesse D. Jesse D looking for options, still going, still has the ball in hand, fires it to Galliano, puts the kick in, fended dead by a London Broncos player. What's the referee giving here? Because I don't think he's giving a drop out from under the sticks, which would have been my take on it. I thought it went in out of play in goal, Mick.
I agree.
He's given the
Must have been in field.
Possession on the 10. That must be a rule I'm not sure about, I think. So here's Jesse D, play the ball, Taylor Pemberton, McShane runs onto it, running laterally, goes to Geordie Thompson. Straight and direct, pulled down 5 out, under the post, Pemberton goes right, Harris, ball on to Kieran Buchanan, he's stopped just short as well. Under defence good on that left side. Will the Knights recycle? Here it comes. Thompson, Santi looking for a gap again. Couldn't find it, then tries to offload and the ball plops out of his hands, but Pemberton fires the pass, intercept. And Paul McShane looks at Taylor Pemberton, but Charlie Robson's gone. That's a 90-metre try for the winger. And the look that Paul McShane through Taylor Pemberton when that pass went into London Broncos' hands said everything. He was absolutely incensed.
It was like a bullet aimed at Galliano for his 4th try, but it was picked out there. Yeah, and McShane's not happy about that.
No, Pemberton's pass picked off. It was meant for Galliano. And that's sort of flattened the atmosphere a bit. And Charlie Robson gets the try from 90 metres. For the Broncos, a former Harlequins rugby union player. And there was never any chance anybody was going to catch him. He was gone and away, 36-16. Kick to come from Jack Smith to the right of the post. Paul McShane still with his hands on his hips.
He sets the standards, doesn't he, McShane?
Yeah.
You know, you need generals like that in your team. Yeah. Just pull you back if you just, you know.
Jack Smith comes out off the left post, so it remains 36-16. Unfortunate for the player on loan from the Rhinos. As we come back to the centre with 7 minutes to go. Taylor Pemberton's fired pass intercepted by Charlie Robson. We went 90 metres down the right wing here. Liam Harris to restart. Deep ball towards Jensen Binks, well taken. Hands the ball into Dan Okoro. Okoro meets Geordie Thompson. Geordie Thompson bounced off a bit there, but Jesse D driving London back. Dan Okoro's felt that one. He's got a headache. Ben Hersey Horde, he's worked hard since he came into the game, Mick, the former Leeds Rhinos player.
Yes. Certainly spent a bit of time in the London team.
Yeah, spent
tried
a bit
really
of time
hard
at Halifax.
Yep.
Ben Hersey Horde played against the Knights for him. Still deep in their own half, 25 from their own line. Kobe Ruggles, a great tackle by Jack Martin and his fellow countryman. And then Conor O'Byrne looks for options on his left side. Natoli finds a bit of clear space, gets the offload into Adebayi. Referee has decided there was a bit of running behind his own player. Ruggles throws his head back as if to say no. And it is a penalty for the Knights. Right on halfway. Go on, Mick, 6 left. Who's your man of the match?
Yeah, so I think we've got to call out a couple of players. Liam Harris, great to see him back playing again. He's had a really strong game again today. There was a bit of concern when he went down, but he looked like he had a problem with his leg, but he's back up and he's fine, absolutely fine. So great that he's done that. Ate Ngarno I thought was outstanding again today. But because of Galliano's 3 tries, Scott Galliano getting 3 tries in 11 minutes, can't ignore that. So I'm gonna go for him for the man of match.
Yeah, devastating finishing today from Scott Galliano out there in the first half on the left side. So there's Mick Cramsden's man of the match as the Knights continue to press through Kieran Buchanan. On to Harris. Harris looking for options to McShane. McShane to Mataafa to Holyfield. Holyfield pressing and pressing and pressing, but brought down 5 out. Scott Galliano saw a little gap open up in front of him, backed himself to try and get over. Did he get that ball down? Holyfield thought he did, but referee Kevin Moore decides that Scott Galliano was held up just short. So back to the 10 for the Aussie. Taylor Pemberton waits. You bet he's had a flea in his ear from Paul McShane as Jesse D tries to battle over on the left side. Pemberton, McShane orchestrating things, shouting instructions. Get that ball here. It's arrived. McShane puts a kick in behind the sticks. Big chance. Try for Jack Martin. Brilliant bit of work by McShane. Great chase by Jack Martin. The Knights score.
Always the most popular tries, aren't they? When you see players like Geordie Thompson scoring and in this occasion Jack Martin, everyone loves to see the middle players score tries because they work so hard. It's just fantastic when they get over.
Yeah, Jack Martin it is with the try. McShane off the outside of his foot. Jack Martin got there first, and that was after Jesse D went very, very close. But once more, the Knights making sure that they come away with points. They now lead 40 points to 16. Kick to come from Liam Harris, once more in front of the sticks. And been good value for this win, Mick.
They have, yeah. When you're talking about man of the match, they've all played well again. It's been a really, really strong team effort today.
Yep.
And that's happening week in, week out, isn't it? It's like,
yeah, that's the thing. It's like the momentum roll, isn't it? That's going to take some stopping. Yep. I mean, you know, let's be honest. In the heat of the south of France, that is some contest next week against Toulouse.
Yeah, it is a huge game.
Liam Harris to try and convert. It will take us to 42-16 if he's successful. Liam Harris just lofts the ball over the post. Just that one conversion in the first half for Liam Harris. Another 4 in the second half. And that try as well. So 14 personal points for Liam Harris today. As Jack Smith looks to restart. Don't forget, if you want to get in touch, you can text us 81333, start your message with the word York, tweet us at BBC York Sport, or on the WhatsApp 080032133. Again, you have to start your message with the word York. We are hopeful to get Mark Applegarth, but unlikely, I think. So we will carry any messages from Mark Applegarth post-match interview on our social media platforms. We've still got a few minutes to go in the game, and looking at my watch, I don't think, can't see that the Knights coach is going to get to us for his reaction. It's Harris, deep ball. Back to Mateafu, who joined the line. And then just some strong direct running again from Kieran Buchanan, the Scottish international, on the last. Liam Harris, he'll off the kick, I'm sure, under pressure. Hanging kick, Chris Hellick underneath it, took it well. Dodged round the chaser, Brendan Santee.
Yeah, it's been good, Hellick, hasn't he? We said it before, he's a good player.
Yeah, I mean, he started the season on the wing, I think, for London. Certainly played on the wing when the Knights played him down at the Cherry Red Record Stadium. Mark Ebblethwaite just timekeeping today, indicating that there's 2 minutes left as London coughed the ball up deep in their own half with a little handling error. At the play the ball, Tommy Porter, I think, possibly the offender, although I'd take my eye off to look at Ebby, our timekeeper. So don't forget, next week it is Friday night. 6:30 UK time, the Knights in Toulouse. First place, second. Should Toulouse beat the Knights would still be top on points difference. I think I'm right in saying that. McShane onto Harris. Harris slips, just slithers to the ground as his feet crumble from under him, but hopefully nothing injury-wise now. Seems okay. Jack Martin, who's just got the latest Knights try, runs the ball in just into the 20, the London Broncos 20. Taylor Pemberton, Jody Thompson, back to McShane. McShane looking for options. Toa Matarafa, good tackle by Ethan Natoli that stopped him as he put the brakes on. Good scrambling defence, but the Knights have gone short through Jesse D, and then Holyfield's taken down in the last minute. Jesse D again to Paul McShane. McShane, kick across field, big chase for it, and the London Broncos player grounded behind his own try line, went back over his try line, so it will be a drop out from under the sticks. The Knights with about half a minute possibly to press for more points, Mick.
Yeah, might even get it in, I don't know. I think Ebby signalled that minute quite a while back now.
Yep. Conor O'Byrne, it's Jack Smith actually, no great hurry to restart. Gets a good thump up towards halfway. Brendan Santee drops the ball backwards and then drives back in hard. The Knights fans celebrating. They've made some racket today. That ball comes off somebody's hand, flies into touch, and that is the final hooter. The York Knights have set a new York Rugby League record, 16 games on the bounce, and they remain at the top of the championship table with that win today. And if we have a quick look at the table, the Knights now on 34 points. Toulouse, after their win on Friday, on 32. Bradford can't advance. It was their free week, so they remain on 30. But the Knights have played 21 games, and they've got that free week coming up where the other teams have the opportunity to catch them up. After that, Oldham, Featherstone and Doncaster, depending on results elsewhere today. Mick, just again, thoroughly professional, comprehensive performance by the Knights.
Yeah, without that, absolutely, yeah. It's I think London were quite a stubborn team, really. I think there was periods in the game where York weren't having it all their own way by any means, but thought they defended well at times, London, but really, truly, York had just too much firepower. We talked about the threat in the team. Every single player is capable of being a threat, being a massive threat to teams, and they work together, they work so hard as a unit in everything that they do, and then this is why they're getting scores that they are. It's very, very good performance again today.
We've said it before this season, I know it's a different level, but this York Knights team bears comparison with Hull KR in the respect that they squeeze the life out of teams, don't they?
do.
know, you saw that with Hull KR, with Wigan on Friday night, and the Knights continue to do it in games that can be quite tight, but they were, you know, when they need to put their foot on the pedal today, they did.
Absolutely, yeah, they do. They just, and it's just, I think it's just a belief in the team that if they do all of the things extremely well, all of the simple things extremely well, then they're going to come out with results. And that's what's happening. And they defend strong, and they run stronger than the other teams. And they've got the spine of the team. You know, we've got exceptionally good halfbacks and fullback and hooker, exceptionally good players. And that's the difference between London really today, London and York, is that we've got exceptionally good players in those really pivotal positions, and they've got players around them that are willing to work really, really hard for each other.
Yeah, there's a couple there that's just walked past me and said hello and shook hands, who'll be delighted Jesse D was back in the equation today. Mick and Debbie D, who were on holiday over from Australia and taking in sights and going across to Dublin and one or two other places, but they missed watching Jesse play last week at Hunslet through injury, but they will have delighted in watching his display today in another win for the Knights. My thanks to Mick Ramsden. Brilliant to have my old mate alongside again today, describing the action and picking apart the action out there in front of us, and great analysis as ever.
Thanks for inviting me, Andy. Appreciate that.
Hopefully we'll see you again before the end of the season.
Brilliant, brilliant, yeah.
So, yeah, so there we are. It was, let me have a look at that score at half-time. It was, I'll find it in a minute, 18 points to 6. The Knights scored on 51 minutes, and it was Liam Harris just stepped back and wrong-footed the London defence, converted his own try. That was 24-6 on 54 minutes. Connor Bailey was left just to go in off Liam Harris's assist after some mercurial work by Ata Ngannou, which was pretty much irresistible. They did manage to stop him close to the try line. Liam Harris converted that one. The London struck back on the hour. Their best player, Connor O'Byrne, found Chris Hellick, the fullback, supporting in the line, and he went in for the try on the left side, converted by Jack Smith. 30 points to 12. Brendan Santi was another one ushered into a massive gap by Liam Harris with no one home, and Liam Harris converted that. That was 36-12. We then had Taylor Pemberton trying to fire a bullet pass into Scott Galliano, cut-out pass out wide. It was picked off by Charlie Robson, who went 90 metres. That was 36-16, but the Knights had the last word with a little grubber off the outside of Paul McShane's foot going in under the sticks, and Jack Martin being first there after Jesse D had gone very close to getting a try himself. Liam Harris duly added that one on for his personal tally of 14 points. From the LNER in the sunshine here, I'll hand you back to James Hogarth in the studio. York Knights 42, London Broncos 16, still top of the table.